No one in the county wanted the old Everwood Ranch. It was falling apart, miles from the nearest town, and carried too many stories that people whispered but never explained. So when single dad Luke Carter bought it for $1 at a county auction, folks laughed behind his back. But Luke wasn't looking for perfection. He was looking for a place to start over, for his daughter Emma, and maybe for himself too. What he didn't expect was to meet a quiet teenage girl who lived next door, a broken bar and a door inside the ranch that no one had ever dared to open. Main story begins. Luke had lost his wife the year before in a tragic accident. Since then, 9-year-old Emma hadn't spoken more than a few words a day. So when the Everwood Ranch came up for sale, Luke saw more than broken boards and dusty windows. He saw a chance to build something with his own two hands, something that might heal them both. The first day they arrived, the sun was setting behind the dry hills. Emma wandered into the overgrown field, chasing butterflies, while Luke tried to open the front door. It grown open like it hadn't in years. Inside, the house smelled of forgotten time, cobwebs, dust, and silence. But there was one thing that stood out: a door on the second floor, heavy, wooden, bolted shut. On it, painted in faded red, "Do not open." The mysterious girl. The next morning, as Luke chopped wood near the fence, he saw someone standing on the other side. A girl, maybe 16, thin, pale, with long dark hair and eyes that looked too old for her age. "I'm Nora," she said softly. "I live at the farm across the creek." Luke offered a smile. "I'm Luke. That's my daughter Emma." Nora nodded, but didn't look at Emma. Then she said something strange. "You bought the house, but don't go in that room." Before he could ask why, she was already walking away. Twists and turns. Days passed. Luke worked sunup to sundown, fixing fences, patching holes, trying to bring life back into the land. Emma started smiling again, little by little, and Nora kept coming back. Always quiet, always kind, but never stepping foot past the front porch. She brought Emma wildflowers, showed her how to find lizards under rocks, and taught her how to whistle through a blade of grass. But every time the wind slammed the upstairs door shut, Nora would flinch. "I hear it sometimes," she said one day, eyes fixed on the second floor, like someone still inside. Luke didn't believe in ghosts. He believed in grief, and broken memories, and the way houses held on to sadness long after people were gone. Still, the locked room called to him. The discovery. One stormy night, with thunder rumbling and rain lashing the windows, Emma asked the question Luke had been avoiding. "Dad, you broken bar, what's behind that door?" Luke took a breath. "I don't know, but maybe it's time we found out." Nora showed up just as he reached for the lock. "No," she said firmly. "Please see broken bar, you don't understand." Luke looked into her eyes. There was something in them. Pain, fear, a secret too heavy for someone so young. But Emma slipped her small hand into Nora's. "Maybe it's time we opened it together." Emotional climax. The lock was rusted, but it broke with one hard twist. The door creaked open. Inside was a tiny bedroom. Dust everywhere, toys on the shelves, a rocking chair, still, and a faded photo on the wall, of a woman, and a girl. Nora gasped. Luke turned. "That's a broken bar, your mom?" he asked gently. Nora nodded slowly. "She died here, years ago. Everyone left. I was just a kid. They said the house was cursed. I thought a broken bar, maybe if I never opened the room, I wouldn't have to say goodbye." She sank to the floor, tears falling for the first time in years. Emma knelt beside her and hugged her tightly. Luke didn't say a word. He just sat on the floor with them, in the room that had been frozen in time, and let silence do the healing. Ending. A uplifting conclusion. From that day on, Nora was no longer just a neighbor. She became family. The room was cleaned out together, not erased, but honored. Luke rebuilt the ranch one board at a time. But it wasn't the wood or nails that made it a home. It was the laughter that returned, the dinners shared on the porch, and the understanding that healing doesn't come from running away. It comes from facing what hurts, together. And as Emma began to speak more, and Nora began to smile again, Luke realized that he hadn't bought a haunted house for $1, a broken bar. He'd bought a second chance. Final line, a call to action. He bought a broken ranch for $1, a broken bar, but what he found inside was priceless. for the video version ACTA. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful, emotional stories that remind us sometimes, the homes we build aren't made of walls. They're made of love, loss, and the courage to begin again. A currency I Diaris Sedilla.